Talk about Stephen Colbert. This is great. Stephen Colbert and the death of late night is what we call this one. So Colbert is out. Now here's the thing that people are forgetting, and the thing that they don't discuss because the Colbert thing is so huge. They already kicked out. They were already planning, if you look back now a year or two ago, they were already planning to wind down this CBS late night thing and kill David Letterman's creation because do you remember who they gave the fucking boot to a year or two ago?
Shit, the guy that followed him?
Yeah. You don't even remember him anymore.
Right.
I remember him because I hated his fucking guts and I thought he was the biggest phony in the business. And then he got outed as the biggest phony in the business and I was so happy. James Corden.
Oh yeah, fucking James Corden.
They got rid of Corden back in, I think, 2024 was his last year. And that's because that show wasn't making any money. Nobody gave a shit. It did here's the problem late night's having. All of their success comes in viral YouTube clips. Nobody's staying up and watching this shit anymore. So Colbert was brought in because they wanted to young up the audience for late night. Because David Letterman's average viewer was 60 years old. And they were like, holy shit, that's like a Fox News audience. We can't have that. We got to bring in someone a little hipper who will bring in some younger people. And the Colbert Report was hot. It was
at the
huge.
time.
Everyone loved Colbert was hilarious on that. So they said, let's bring in Stephen Colbert. And we all kind of people my age all kind of knew when they brought Colbert in and said he won't be doing that character. We were like, ooh, that might not be good. That might fuck the whole thing up. Nobody gives a shit about regular old Stephen Colbert. We like the Colbert Report guy. If you're going to give this job to somebody, there were some names they were throwing out for that job that I actually really liked, that I thought would do a good job. And a lot of them were Daily Show people. One of them was Jason Jones. And I was like, he'd do a good job.
Could be interesting, yeah.
Jason Jones would be okay. And I think he went didn't he kind of become a bit player in movies?
Yeah, he became a bit player in movies, and Samantha Bee started doing a show.
Yeah, and they're
that
married.
Also isn't around anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, and then Rob Riggle, a bunch of those Daily Show guys went on to do some shit. Rob Corddry did a bunch of movies and stuff. They did all right. But
thank God the Daily Show got its upgrade with Trevor Noah.
Dude. And and he's good. Well, yeah, there's another one that's gone
too.
They're all fucking gone, man. They kicked every decision they made after the old war horses got out, except for maybe Leno, has fucking bombed. Fallon's doing okay, but I think Fallon's doing okay because he kind of stays away from all the political shit. He's still number two, though. The number one guy is Gutfeld. Gutfeld's got the highest ratings out of everyone, highest youth demos, the whole deal. People like Gutfeld. If you would have told us 10 years ago that if people wanted late night, they were going to turn on Fox News. Wow. So Colbert is out at CBS, and a lot of people are cheering this because Colbert's a cunt who danced with vaccine needles during COVID. He's an asshole. Colbert's a propagandist. He sucks. I remember when Jon Stewart came on there and just read everybody the riot act about the COVID origins, and Colbert was visibly uncomfortable during the whole thing. Yeah. I love that. It's one of my favorite pieces of television of all time. Well, Colbert was apparently, so he was brought in to young up the audience, and Letterman was sitting at 60 years old. Do you know how well of a job Colbert did younging up the late night audience? Do you know what his average viewer age was when it was announced that he was shit canned last week?
I'm going to go in the 40s or 50s.
68.
So in other words, he hasn't moved the needle at all.
It got older by almost a decade. Now, there's reasons for that are his fault, maybe, but there's also reasons for that. Old people are the only ones watching live television.
Yeah.
The kind of the metrics show that young people watch really there's one thing young people watch in huge numbers on live TV, and they don't really watch live TV for much else, and that's sports.
Oh.
Sports is the only thing that young people watch live TV for. And that makes sense because you don't want to get the result later.
No.
You'd like to get it right now. But yeah, Colbert made the show older, and he was losing CBS up to $50 million per year on late night. Dude, CBS had to start a late night show with David Letterman because they saw how much fucking money NBC was making with late night, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're getting our
piece of this pie.
We're getting our dicks kicked in. If we can just get a piece of the market share that NBC's getting." Because remember what late night was before Johnny Carson was just either reruns or stations went dark.
Yeah, they literally stopped broadcast.
Yeah, they would play the national anthem, show the flag, and go fuck yourself, guys. We'll see you in the morning, which maybe the internet should do that now.
It would be a good idea, like, for society, but you realize the immediate implications of that. There is a solid group of people that won't be able, like,
we would wipe
themselves.
We would wipe them out easily, and the world would be a better place either way. So, like,
no, I'm saying they would probably self-delete because of, again, they need that if they were forced.
Not my concern. If they're not that strong, then But like you're right, midnight to like 4 a.m. We'll have a 4-hour window where we play the national anthem. We go dark. It'll be a better society. And then if you're feeling some longing for closeness, go to church. You'll be all right. But Colbert was
an atheist.
Colbert was losing the company about $40 to $50 million a year. And people are wondering, not like why was Colbert fired, but now the question people are asking is, why wasn't Colbert fired sooner? Like, why would you let a guy lose you $40 to $50 million a year for more than a year? Like, you lose $40 million 1 year. It's like, all right, we're losing nothing by pulling the plug.
What are
on
you, the Defense Department?
Yeah. And so Colbert is out, and people are wondering, why wasn't it done sooner? Well, the answer is simple. He was a good boy who was saying all the things they wanted him to say.
Right.
Doing all
the script.
Not only did he say and do all the things the establishment wanted him to, I'll give him this. I'll give Colbert this compliment. He did it with zeal. Like, he did it with vigor. He gave him. He didn't look like a propagandist when he did his show. He looked like a guy who wanted to say that shit.
Well, some people, again, some are claiming that part of the reason he's getting booted now is because he called out, was it his parent company for paying off Trump in the recent lawsuits or whatever. And he was saying something about, like, that's like bending the knee or some crap. And so people are like, oh, now that he's talking bad about his paymasters for, S and the D on Trump because they lost. Again, it's not like they went, oh, you know what? We're just going to pay this because they lost a court case.
So you're saying that, like, the theory on this is that they might have kept Colbert and lost their $40 to $50 million if he would have just stuck to the script.
Right. But in other words, I think he worked himself into a shoot.
Right. What it sounds like is he believed in it too much. Like, he was a propagandist who didn't think he was spouting propaganda. He believed it. And then when his company was like, hey, Steven, this is all bullshit, right? Like, we're just fucking around. Steven was like, no, you can't bend the knee. You can't give up the fight. You can't do this. And they're like, okay, you're losing. Like, you're not in a position to tell us what you do. Yeah, you're not in a position to tell us what we can and can't do. You understand you're in the red ink big time. We're only keeping you around to brainwash this shit out of boomers.
Pretty much.
And you're going to sit here and crack whip with get the fuck out of here. You're canceled. He's like, oh, yeah? Well, my last show is going to feature Representative Adam Schiff. And they're like, you've learned fucking nothing, haven't you? You haven't learned a goddamn thing since you've been here. So, yeah, people are crying. Like, Jimmy Kimmel is like, fuck you, CBS, for canceling Colbert. And, like, that's kind of disingenuous because, like, I'd be pissed, too, if I was competing against a guy and I was kicking the shit out of him and then they took him off the air. I'd be like, hey, what are you doing? It would be like kicking the Colorado Rockies out of baseball. It's like, but wait a minute. We all kicked the shit out of the Rockies, except, of course, the Twins who just got swept by them. Hey. We're gonna win, Twins. We're gonna score. We're gonna win, Twins. Watch that baseball soar. Knock out a home run, shout a hip hooray. Getting swept by the Rockies is so gay. So anyway, back to Colbert. 40 to 50 million bucks a year. And like some people are even asking in the chat, they're like, why didn't they just replace him? Well, it's because they feel like, and they're probably right, that all this new era of guys killed late night. Like they killed the genre. They killed the format because you can't go back, to Letterman, to Carson, to Leno. Like you can't go back to that stuff because these guys have already poisoned the well. Like Kimmel crying about his kid's heart and health insurance all the fucking time, and Seth Meyers being angry that Trump's still in there, and Colbert doing, dancing with fucking needles. Fallon's the only one. Like NBC ain't getting rid of Fallon anytime soon. They're not getting rid of the Tonight Show because Fallon's making money because he's America's gay best friend who plays sleepover parties with someone who has a movie coming out this weekend.
Yep.
Say what you want about Jimmy Fallon. He keeps it simple.
He just gets liquored up in the morning.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, if you guys think Fallon is just this gay guy who fucking does this show, no, he needs to drink a bottle of whiskey every day just to get through the fact that this is his. Yeah, he's like, oh, God, I got to play fake pillow fight with a goddamn Sydney Sweeney today and then ask her questions I don't give a shit about. I'm going to get so obnoxiously fucked up that my cheeks look like Santa Claus by the time I get on the air. And he's like a hopeless drunk. He literally, like once or twice a year, will show up with fresh cuts and bruises because he got shit-faced and fell somewhere. Remember when he went through a glass table?
No.
You don't remember that one? He showed up one week and he had a bandage on his hand. And they're like, what happened? And he's like, I fell through a glass table. It's like, oh, so you got fucking shit-faced and passed out and cut your hand on some glass. Fucking
he
aces,
really,
dude.
really wanted to be like Adam Sandler Take Two and just wasn't.
Remember that? There was that movie Taxi Driver or whatever, or Taxi.
God, it was bad.
And him and Queen Latifah. And then there was Fever Pitch. Was that the one with Drew Barrymore? And they're like, we're going to make Jimmy Fallon a movie star, and he's going to be this comedy idol and everything. And they just bombed. And they're like, hey, Jimmy, you want to play slumber party games with celebrities for like 30, 40 million bucks a year? He's like, yeah, fine, fuck it. I guess I can be around my family. I can kind of stay in one place. I don't need to go away for long periods. Fuck it. Give me that bottle. Create generation.
My family's going to be concerned about my safety.
Yeah.
That's what I do to do this job.
I'll create generational wealth for me and my family and drink myself to death. How's that sound? Oh. Yeah.
So,
Papa Shab says, I have no idea how his movie career didn't take off. Taxi is a masterpiece. Dude, that's the one they're always going to point to and be like, oh, shit, that was it. That was the end. Yeah, Helgi writes, Jimmy Fallon falling off of cliffs and shit. It's kind of his gimmick. But, yeah, with Colbert gone, I mean, it's like people are cheering it. It's a victory culturally, whatever. But at the same time, it's like Letterman created that out of thin air. Like the Late Show's creation is such a huge story in television history and such a huge accomplishment in American entertainment because it's like Letterman left NBC like it was the ultimate fuck you move. They passed over him for Johnny's job and gave it to Leno secretly. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, then fuck you. I'm getting an agent. He's springing me from my contract and I'm leaving. They're like, where the fuck are you going to go? There's no late night shows anywhere. And CBS is like, dude, we'll create a TV show for you. We will create late night on CBS for David Letterman. And he went and he won for a while. But for the rest of his existence, he took a massive market share away from NBC. He cost NBC untold, like if you projected out over the years he did that show, hundreds of millions of dollars. He cost NBC in revenue by moving over and starting this thing. Nobody had ever successfully gone up against The Tonight Show until Letterman did it. Yeah, Letterman successfully went up against The Tonight Show. So this 30-year television property that was created out of thin air, out of a sheer force of will from one TV personality. Out of spite, yes. In my opinion, one of the most revolutionary television personalities who ever lived, David Letterman, and they handed it over to the next generation, and Colbert fucking killed it. Like, he killed it. He killed a television moment. He killed it.
Too hard, Lenny.
Dude, it's like you're the president and the Statue of Liberty got blown up on your watch. I mean, that's what Colbert did. And so, yeah, it's funny to watch him get his shit pushed in and all this embarrassing news come out. That's hilarious. It sucks that Letterman's baby had to die.
Right. To get this laugh, we had to sink the Titanic.
But like, people wonder, they're like, well, why does Jimmy Fallon do all this gay, like, slumber party shit? It's because his bosses tell him to. It works. And that was a creation of, like, who was it? Jack Parr or Steve Allen, like back in the 50s. So this is like a 75-year television property. If you host the Tonight Show, you don't get to make it yours. They tell you.
The best you can do is add a new bit.
Right. And they're like, that's why Conan didn't work, because Conan wanted to make it Conan O'Brien's Tonight Show. He wanted to make it his with all this wacky shit. And they're like, look, fuckhead. This thing's been around forever. This predates you. This is Steve Allen, Jack Parr, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno. You will fucking do what we say, because you are not going to kill this bus by trying avant-garde, weird, pocket string dancing bullshit. Fuck off. And it didn't work. And they went back to Leno and he crushed it again. And then Leno was like, it's getting borderline pedophilic for me to ask Ariana Grande if she has a boyfriend. That's fucked up.
I'm just not into this.
Yeah, what Leno did was really honorable, and it made me look at Leno as even like a better guy, where he's like, that was one of his main things. Like, I don't feel comfortable asking these young female celebrities about their dating life. It's weird to me. And I was like, you know what? Respect. He's like, I'm getting
it is weird that you would be doing that.
Right. He's like, number one, I don't fucking care, and it's getting harder for me to fake it. Two, I'm more famous than the people I'm interviewing. And three, I don't want to basically ask Ariana Grande if she's fucking. Like, that's...
And he doesn't need the goddamn money at this point. He spent a bunch of it on building what is probably, for anyone that loves cars, the greatest automotive collection that a single person could have. And he still has shit tons of money left over.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
McBuster says, Conan was funny. Jay and the rest toe the corporate woke line. I am not going to sit here and listen to hipster bullshit on Jay Leno. If you don't have like mountains of fucking respect for Jay Leno, you don't get comedy. You just don't get the entertainment. Like, you don't get any of that shit. Like, that guy is a once in a generation talent. He's incredible. First of all, he went out there for 30 years and wrote a new 15 minutes every night.
Every night. That's pretty fucking hard.
Yeah. And then not only that, he was number one. Anybody can be funny, but you have to be the total package of public persona, image, everything else to be number one for 20 years or so like he was. That's almost like only two people have done it. Johnny Carson and Jay Leno. Those are the only two. So,
well, I'd argue three, because I would say, wouldn't you say what we were just talking about? Fuck.
Letterman?
Late Show. Letterman. Yeah, he kind of did
but
that too.
But Letterman was number two.
Right, he was number two, but I'm still saying, like, that talent and that capability was definitely there with him.
Don't get me wrong.
Nobody else has done it.
Don't get me wrong. Letterman's my favorite out of all of them. I'm a huge Letterman guy. But, like, you got to acknowledge, Leno's success could not be done by an untalented person.
Well, Fallon and O'Brien proved it.
Look, man, I think Jimmy Fallon's a talented guy. I just don't think he's doing what he wants to do. I think he's doing what he has to do.
I don't know. I always just felt like, even on SNL, just fucking, it's Adam Sandler wannabe. Like, look, I've got a guitar. And I do this.
Fucking hated him on SNL because he thought it was fucking hilarious and cute to laugh at everything. He got dressed down by multiple cast members. They're like, could you quit fucking up my sketches by giggling, you little fuck? Because they knew what he was doing. I think it was Farrell called him out. I think Farrell called him out after a sketch. He's like, hey, asshole, You're ruining my fucking sketches by trying to be cutesy and get attention on net. Like, they all, like, a couple of different people have come out and said they kind of felt like Fallon was in it for himself.
Yeah.
And, like, he kind of was starting to believe his own bullshit and his own press clippings, which makes the movie Taxi even funnier to me.
I have never seen it, so I don't know if that's...
You ever seen a nerdy white guy do a movie with a fat, loud black lady?
I mean, yeah.
You've seen Taxi. Like, it would be the equivalent of Zach Galifianakis and Leslie Jones doing a movie together. It would be one person going, yeah, and the other guy's going, I don't think this is the right thing to do. And them going, yeah, you such a white boy. And them going, wow, there's a bunch of Jews in Hollywood making whites look weak. Sorry. See, I turn into Sam. Quit it. I turn into Sam's show when we do this. But yeah, I just, look, good. I'm glad that Colbert's gone. I think it's fucking hilarious. The fact that he was losing that company $40 to $50 million annually proves that this firing is not performance-based. Because if it was performance-based, they would have cut him.
He would have been gone
ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah. This is something else. But God bless him. God bless Colbert for sucking out as much money.
Bag.
Yeah. Holy shit. All he had to do was sacrifice all the goodwill he ever developed with his fan base and audience.
Yeah.
And guarantee that he probably won't.
Remember when people wanted him and Jon Stewart to be Prez and Vice Prez, respectively?
Remember for a little while there when people wanted Colbert instead of Jon Stewart? It's hard to believe that, but there was a time where there was a sizable chunk of the Comedy Central audience that goes, I think I'd like The Daily Show better if Colbert was hosting.
Yeah, that's where a lot of us thought it was going to go.
Yeah. Well, we thought Craig Ferguson was going to take over for Letterman. And that would have been fucking awesome. I would have loved, but Craig Ferguson is another one of those guys who's too niche and too weird.
And I don't think he would have necessarily played the fucking bow down game that.
Well, right. Did you hear this thing about COVID? We got these needles. We're going to come out. We're going to dance with them. It's like, nah, I can't see Craig Ferguson.
Imagine that a guy with his background doesn't necessarily trust the guy.
Yeah, a guy with addiction issues dancing with needles. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's a good idea.
He tackles one. Give it to me for the love of God.
Remember when they used his, I don't know if you were a Drew Carey show fan, but remember they got him off that show to go host the late night show by actually playing his real life addiction issues into the character? They made the boss, because he was the boss on the Drew Carey show, and then I think Mr. Cooper took over for him. Remember hanging with Mr. Cooper? Mm-hmm. He took over for Craig Ferguson, and the way they got Craig Ferguson out of there was they said he had addiction issues and he had to leave the company. So they kind of rolled that all in there nice. I don't know why I remember that storyline in the Drew Carey show, but I do.
Sweet Jesus, I can't fucking know. That's painful that you retained that. It's just...
Now, they're also saying that CBS canceled the show in a surprise announcement that came almost immediately after Congress slashed funding for public media this week. Well, that just had to do with NPR and PBS. That wouldn't have anything to do with CBS. The vote-a-rama on the rescissions package occurred on the afternoon of July 16th, and it became clear it would pass around 5:30 p.m. Colbert was suddenly informed the evening before his show would not be renewed on a live July 17th recording, which places the cancellation on the evening of July 16th, just a few hours. Oh, I think we're digging a little too deep there. You can find any piece of legislation that gets passed, and then he gets fired right after, and you can go, oh, coincidence? So I don't,
no offense. The taxpayer, and if this is wrong, I would hate to find this out because I'd be pissed. I don't think the taxpayers were paying for late night television on NBC and CBS.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that's kind of to be honest, I think that's sort of a bullshit deal.